Not every Rolex is worth the investment. Some models look stunning but hide serious flaws, poor resale value, questionable design choices, or just overhyped marketing. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 beautiful but bad Rolex watches you should think twice about before buying. Let's dive in. Number 10. Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36. The Oyster Perpetual 36 in candy colors burst onto the scene with bold, eye-catching dials that instantly grabbed attention. Coral red, vibrant yellow, and the famous Tiffany blue became social media sensations overnight. These watches are undeniably beautiful and fun, perfect for adding personality to your wrist. However, the hype surrounding them, especially the Tiffany blue, has inflated prices to unreasonable levels on the secondary market. The problem is that these trendy colors may not age well over time. What feels fresh and exciting today could feel dated and gimmicky tomorrow. Additionally, the resale market for these colorful models is extremely volatile and unpredictable. If the trend fades, you could be stuck with a watch that's lost significant value. While they're gorgeous conversation starters, they're risky investments. The Oyster Perpetual line is excellent, but these specific color variants are more fashion statements than timeless pieces. Think carefully before paying a premium for a trend that might not last. Beautiful. Absolutely. Smart buy? Not necessarily for long-term collectors. Number 9. Rolex Datejust 2. The Datejust 2 was Rolex's answer to the growing demand for larger watches, bumping up from 36mm to 41mm. It looked modern and masculine, appealing to those who wanted more wrist presence. The early models featured updated proportions and improved movements, making them technically sound timepieces. However, the Datejust 2 suffered from awkward proportions that didn't quite hit the mark aesthetically. The lugs felt too thick, and the case felt chunky rather than refined, lacking the elegance Rolex is known for. Many collectors felt it lost the classic Datejust charm in its attempt to go bigger and bolder. The watch also faced an identity crisis, sitting uncomfortably between the traditional Datejust and Sportier models. Rolex eventually discontinued the Datejust 2 and replaced it with the Datejust 41, which features better proportions and improved design. This replacement happened relatively quickly, signaling that even Rolex knew something was off about the Datejust 2. Resale values reflect this lukewarm reception, with prices remaining flat or declining compared to other Datejust models. While it's still a Rolex, it's one that feels like a design misstep worth avoiding. Number 8. Rolex Air King. The Air King is one of Rolex's most divisive modern releases, and for good reason. The watch features a quirky green and yellow logo that pays tribute to aviation heritage but feels out of place. The dial design is busy and chaotic, with oversized 369 numerals that clash with the Mercedes hands typically seen on dive watches. This strange mix of design elements creates an identity crisis that confuses many collectors and enthusiasts. Some appreciate its unconventional look as bold and unique, while others see it as a design disaster. The watch also sits in an odd price bracket, not quite entry-level but not prestigious enough to justify the cost. It's powered by the excellent caliber 3131 movement, so performance isn't the issue here, it's purely aesthetic. The Air King has historically been Rolex's entry-level pilot's watch, but this iteration feels like an experiment gone wrong. Resale values are weak, with many buyers preferring other models at similar price points. If you love quirky and unconventional designs, this might appeal to you. But for most collectors, it's a beautiful mess that's hard to recommend as a smart purchase. Number 7. Rolex Cellini Time. The Cellini line represents Rolex's venture into classic dress watches, stepping away from their usual sporty tool watches. These watches feature elegant designs, slim profiles, and refined aesthetics that look stunning in formal settings. The Cellini Moon Phase in particular showcases exceptional craftsmanship with its beautiful blue enamel moon phase complication. However, the Cellini line has struggled to gain traction among Rolex enthusiasts and collectors worldwide. One major issue is brand perception. People buy Rolex for sports watches, not dress watches. The Cellini also uses a different movement than the famous perpetual calibers, which some see as less desirable. Resale values are abysmal compared to other Rolex models, often selling at significant discounts even when barely worn. The watches depreciate faster than almost any other Rolex, making them poor investments for collectors. Additionally, the Cellini lacks the water resistance and durability that define the Rolex brand in most people's minds. While objectively beautiful and well-crafted, they simply don't fit what buyers want from Rolex. If you want a dress watch, competitors like Jaeger-LeCoultre or Vacheron Constantin offer better value and prestige. The Cellini is gorgeous, but ultimately a misstep in Rolex's lineup. Number 6. Rolex Milgauss Z Blue Dial. The Milgauss Z Blue Dial is undeniably one of the most visually striking watches Rolex has ever produced. The electric blue dial with green sapphire crystal creates a stunning combination that catches light beautifully. Originally designed for scientists and engineers working in magnetic fields, the Milgauss has a unique heritage. The orange lightning bolt seconds hand adds a playful touch that makes the watch feel special and distinctive. However, the Milgauss has always been a niche model that struggles to find its audience among collectors. The green crystal, while unique, is often seen as gimmicky rather than elegant, dividing opinions sharply. The watch also lacks the prestige and recognition of Submariners, Daytonas, or GMT Masters in the broader market. Rolex recently discontinued the Milgauss entirely, which suggests even they weren't confident in its long-term appeal. Resale values have been inconsistent, with some spikes followed by significant drops as hype fades away. The 40 mm case wears well, but the overall design feels like it's trying too hard to be different. While it's beautiful and technically impressive, it's a risky choice for serious collectors and investors. If you love the look, buy it for yourself, but don't expect it to hold value. Number 5. Rolex Submariner Two-Tone. The two-tone Submariner, nicknamed the Bluesy, combines stainless steel with yellow gold for a striking appearance. The blue dial and bezel paired with gold accents create an undeniably luxurious and eye-catching look. This watch blends sport and elegance, offering versatility for both casual and dressier occasions. However, two-tone sports watches have long been controversial among collectors and purists who prefer all-steel models. The older references of the Bluesy suffer from dated aesthetics that feel stuck in the 80s and 90s. The gold accents can look gaudy or flashy rather than sophisticated, depending on personal taste and styling. These watches also require more maintenance due to the gold elements, and they're more prone to scratching. Resale values are significantly lower than their all-steel counterparts, often selling for much less on the secondary market. The newer ceramic bezel versions have improved the design, but older references still lag behind in desirability. The Bluesy appeals to a specific buyer who loves gold, but it's not universally loved like steel submariners. While beautiful in its own right, it's a hard sell for investment-focused collectors. If you love the look, great, but know you're sacrificing value. Number 4. Rolex Yachtmaster 37. The Yachtmaster 37 in Everose gold with a rubber oysterflex strap is a gorgeous and luxurious timepiece. The warm rose gold paired with the sleek black strap creates an elegant, modern aesthetic. This watch is lighter and more comfortable than traditional metal bracelets, making it perfect for daily wear. However, the Yachtmaster line has always played second fiddle to the Submariner in terms of recognition and prestige. The 37mm size is also an awkward middle ground, too large for some women and too small for many men. The Everose Gold version is expensive, often pricing out buyers who could get a stainless steel sports model instead. The rubber strap, while comfortable, can deteriorate over time and is expensive to replace when it wears out. Resale values are poor compared to steel sports models, with significant depreciation right after purchase. The watch also lacks the tool watch heritage that makes other Rolex sports models so desirable among collectors. While technically excellent and beautiful, it's a niche piece that appeals to a limited audience. The Yachtmaster 37 is a luxury statement, not a smart investment for those prioritizing value retention. Beautiful, yes, but difficult to recommend for practical reasons. Number 3. Rolex Datejust. The Datejust with Roman numerals and decorative floral or motif dials showcases Rolex's craftsmanship in intricate dial work. These watches are undeniably elegant, often featuring beautiful guilloche patterns, flower designs, or artistic flourishes. They appeal to buyers looking for something more ornate and decorative than the standard Datejust offerings. However, these decorative dials are extremely polarizing and appeal to a very limited subset of collectors. The floral and motif designs can feel dated, old-fashioned, or overly feminine to many potential buyers. Roman numerals, while classic, are less legible than stick or Arabic numerals, making the watch less practical. These models suffer from terrible resale values, often selling at steep discounts even when in excellent condition. The decorative dials also limit versatility, making them harder to pair with different outfits and occasions. Most serious collectors prefer cleaner, simpler dial designs that age better and maintain broader appeal over time. The watches are beautifully made but serve a niche market that's shrinking as tastes evolve toward minimalism. If you personally love ornate designs, they're perfect, but they're poor choices for investment or resale. Beautiful craftsmanship doesn't always translate to desirability or value retention in the market. Number 2, Rolex Lady Datejust Diamond Dial. The Lady Datejust with a diamond set dial is the epitome of luxury and sparkle on the wrist. These watches feature beautiful factory-set diamonds that create stunning, eye-catching designs full of brilliance. They're marketed as feminine, elegant timepieces perfect for special occasions or everyday glamour for those who love shine. However, diamond dials are incredibly divisive and dramatically limit your potential resale market to a tiny audience. Many collectors view diamond dials as gaudy, excessive, or over-the-top rather than elegant and refined. The diamonds also reduce legibility significantly, making the watch less practical for everyday use and timekeeping. These watches depreciate heavily, often losing 30 to 50% of their value immediately after purchase. The diamonds themselves add cost at retail but add little to no value on the secondary market. Factory diamond dials are difficult to replace or modify, limiting customization options if tastes change over time. The Lady Datejust line in general suffers from lower demand compared to larger unisex models in today's market. While objectively beautiful and luxurious, these watches are terrible investments and difficult to resell later. If you love diamonds and plan to keep the watch forever, they're gorgeous, but otherwise, avoid them. Beautiful but bad for value retention. Number 1, Rolex Pearlmaster line. The Rolex Pearlmaster is the brand's most luxurious and ornate dress watch, dripping with gold, diamonds, and precious stones. These watches are crafted with exceptional attention to detail, showcasing Rolex's ability to create high jewelry timepieces. The Pearlmaster features exclusive bracelets, gem-set bezels, and elaborate dials that scream wealth and extravagance. However, the Pearlmaster is also the worst Rolex line for value retention, investment potential, and broad collector appeal. These watches are incredibly expensive at retail, often costing as much as or more than luxury cars. The resale market for Pearlmasters is abysmal, with watches selling for 50 to 70% below retail prices. The ultra-luxurious aesthetic limits the audience to those who love extremely flashy, jewelry-forward designs. Most Rolex collectors prefer sports models or classic Datejusts, leaving the Pearlmaster as a niche product with minimal demand. The watches are also impractical, delicate, and require careful handling, unlike Rolex's typical tool watches. The Pearlmaster lacks the heritage, recognition, and prestige of iconic models like the Submariner or Daytona. While beautiful in its own right, it's a financial disaster for anyone hoping to maintain or grow value. If you have money to burn and love high jewelry, go ahead, but don't call it an investment. The Pearlmaster is the ultimate beautiful but bad Rolex watch. So there you have it. 10 stunning Rolex watches that look amazing but come with serious downsides. Remember, beauty isn't everything when it comes to watches. Do your research, think long-term, and invest wisely. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more watch content. Thanks for watching.